Hello there, my friends, and welcome back. I wanted to talk to you today about something that's been kind of on my mind. I was going to say weighing heavy on my mind, but not really. Just on my mind quite a bit lately, and that is the ever-growing, always terrifying question of, will AI take over my job? And while I do consider myself a sort of fan of the things that AI can do, I use AI a lot. I sometimes use it to come up with shopping list, food plans, like if I only have certain things in the fridge, what can I make with this? That sort of thing. I'll also use it on social media posts if I'm really not feeling it, if I don't really know what the description or what the caption on something should be. I just type in, into Chat GPT what I want, and they will spit something out, or they will spit out a few things. Sometimes it gives video ideas. Sometimes I use it for ideas of activities to do in the classroom or like questions to ask. Those sort of things are definitely how I use AI. I know that there are tons of different types of AIs out there, but what I am going to focus on is Chat GPT, which I did mention earlier. Yes, you did hear. I did say classroom. If you're brand new here, my full-time job is as a teacher, but I also, side job, maybe one day in my wildest hopes and dreams, it will be my full job. I write as well. But as I was using last week ChatGPT to come up with guided questions for, in my opinion, a very boring story that I'm going to have to teach my students next week, I thought, wow, this platform did this like that. And that was one of our sessions in this school year's professional development, how to use AI to benefit you in the classroom. And I don't think at any point, at least right now, AI could totally replace educators. I'm sure someone's working on that. But it did make me, for a moment, when I saw how quickly lesson plans were made or how quickly essay prompts were made, things like that, made me have this question. Could AI eventually replace writers? So that is what I want to try to see today. I am going to open up ChatGPT, which is an open AI system, in a few moments, and I'm going to give it a prompt to write a short story thriller. We're going to read it together, or I'll read it to you if you were just listening along to this video, and then I'll give my thoughts. I'll give my feedback. I do just want to give a little apology before if you are actually watching this video. Originally, I wanted to film this video that I was screen recording on my computer, but my computer died, so I'm going to be doing that on my phone and screen recording on my phone. All right, so let's ask it to write an 800 word for, time purposes of this video. Write an 800 word short story. And I know typically short stories start at 1,000-ish, but whatever. Short story thriller that contains dialogue, women main characters, and a twist at the end. All right, so just with that prompt, let's see exactly what Chat GPT comes up with. It's called Twisted Society of Deception. And just in case it's small on the screen, or you were listening to this sort of podcast let me read for you what this platform came up with. In the heart of the city, the rain poured down relentlessly, casting an eerie atmosphere on the dimly lit streets. Detective Lily Thompson sat in her car studying the old photograph she had received anonymously. It depicted 3 women, their faces marked with fear. A cryptic message was scribbled on the back. The truth lies in the shadows. Lily's curiosity piqued. She decided to pay a visit to the address listed on the back of the photo. The rain had turned the streets into a maze of glistening asphalt, and the occasional flash of lightning only heightened the sense of unease. Lily approached the abandoned warehouse. She noticed a woman standing in the shadows. Her face was concealed by a hood, but her presence seemed to scream urgency.
Are you the detective? The woman whispered. Yes, I am. Are you the one who sent me the photograph? Lily asked, her heart racing. The woman nodded, her eyes darting nervously. My name is Emma. Those women in the picture are my friends. They've gone missing one by one, and I fear I might be next. Lily studied Emma's face, noticing the genuine fear etched in her features. Tell me everything you know, she urged. Emma hesitated before launching into a tale of a secret society called the Shadow of Truth. The society comprised women who had stumbled upon a dark conspiracy involving powerful figures in the city. These women were gathering evidence to expose the truth when they began disappearing under mysterious circumstances. Lily listened intently, her mind racing with possibilities. She agreed to help Emma, and the two women embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind the disappearances. The investigation led them down a rabbit hole of corruption, deceit, and danger. They interviewed witnesses, followed leads, and even infiltrated high-profile events. Along the way, they formed an unlikely bond, fueled by their determination to unveil the sinister plot. As Lily and Emma delved deeper, they began to suspect that the very people they were investigating might be a part of the society. Trust became a rare commodity, and paranoia loomed over every step they took. One stormy night, Lily received a cryptic message. The truth lies within the society itself. Armed with this new clue, she confronted Emma, her voice laced with suspicion. Did you know about this society before it all started? Emma's eyes filled with tears as she confessed, yes, I was one of them, but I was also being blackmailed. They threatened to reveal a secret from my past until I helped them gather information. Lily's heart sank. The case had taken an unexpected turn, and the line between victim and perpetrator blurred. She was torn between empathy for Emma and a duty to uncover the truth. The two women continued their investigation, unraveling a web of deception that stretched into the highest echelons of power. Every answer seemed to lead to more questions, and they were racing against time to piece together the puzzle before more lives were lost. Finally, Lily and Emma confronted the society's leader, a woman named Victoria, who revealed the shocking truth. The society had been a ruse, a way to manipulate and control women with secrets. The disappearances were orchestrated to keep them silent, ensuring that their secrets would die with them. Lily's mind reeled as the full extent of the conspiracy became clear. The society had preyed on the vulnerability. Sorry, y'all, that's a hard word for me. Of its members, using their fears and past mistakes against them. In a climactic confrontation, Lily and Emma managed to expose Victoria's true motives, bringing her to justice. As the rain continued to pour, they stood outside the courthouse, exhausted but victorious. In the aftermath, Lily couldn't shake the realization that the line between victim and perpetrator was often thinner than she had imagined. The experience had left her questioning her own assumptions and biases. As she walked away from the courthouse, she glanced at the photograph one last time. The three women in it had faced their demons, and Lily hoped that they had found some measure of peace. The rain had finally stopped, leaving behind a sense of renewal in the air. The world was a complex place, full of shadows and truths that intertwined in unexpected ways. As Lily walked into the sunlight, she knew that her role as a detective was not just about solving crimes, but about understanding the intricacies of human nature itself.
Whew, all right, so there is a lot to unpack here. I'm surprised that the system took all but one of my parameters of what I wanted in the short story and made it happen. Now, I didn't sit and count to see if there were 800 words or anything like that, but it was a thriller of sorts. It was a thriller of sorts. It did have dialogue. It did have female main characters. I personally didn't think that was a twist of an ending. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you thought that was a twist of an ending. I personally didn't think it was, but to each our own. And overall, I thought the dialogue was okay. A little sparse, but it was okay. It was okay dialogue. It was dialogue I feel that my middle schoolers would have written whenever we did narrative writing whenever I taught middle school. That very basic, she said, that sort of thing. My biggest issue with this short story was that it started out good-ish. It It started out pretty good. I'm going to give it that. But the more and more it went on, it just sounded like it was summarizing the story for me. It left out the actual action. There was no like story arc, or there was no pacing or anything like that I definitely feel that if an actual human being would have written, the story would have had. This to me read, because I read a lot of narrative writing all year long during the school year, this to me read like a low C, high D student writing narrative writing who just doesn't like quite grasp what a short story is supposed to be like. In fact, I might use this in my classroom of why it's not a good formatting for a short story. But that's important to me, especially whenever we're talking about the arts or people in the arts being replaced by AI. And I know this video may end up aging like milk, but I don't think that, at least in the long run, people in the arts, especially like particularly with writing, I don't think that people who are writers should have to worry about AI 100% replacing them. And the main reason for that is what we just witnessed really sounded like a computer wrote it, because it did. Well, yeah, you might be there thinking, well, Teresa, you could have given it more specific prompts. And yeah, I probably could have, but I just wanted to give it the most basic prompt. Sort of like whenever I'm sitting down to write, I'm like, hey, I want to write a story of blah, blah, blah. And that's it. My mind has to come up with the rest. Mine has to come up with the juiciness of the story. And that's what happens with all authors. That's one of the reasons why I don't think AI will ever replace writers or will ever truly replace anyone in the arts. But of course, we all have different opinions, and I would love to hear what you have to say. Do you think AI is eventually going to replace the workforce, or do you think it's going to be something that we all just learn to use, learn to work with, and that we are benefited from? Because to be honest, I don't think that AI is going away anytime soon. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you real soon.